Let me show you what I think is, I call this, it's the sledgehammer. It's the man maker. You guys ready? What we can do is at our gym we have a couple kegs. Do you guys have any kegs in this gym? No. Oh no, but I'll tell you what we do have. Most gyms should have a foam roller. Oh hey, there's a foam roller. I had no idea. Right? So this is a big nasty global stretch. Come on. So if this is not high enough, this can be done on the back of a glued ham, right? But go ahead and lay that perpendicular. And you're going to see after the precision and scalpel-like efficiency of the other ball, right, that this feels like for kids, right? Go ahead and roll back and forth. You laugh at the mobilization, right? No big deal. Yeah, and that's the problem, is that most of us, this helps a lot of us. So if I have one of these, could I still do the same thing? Can I go both arms up overhead and try to get that thing? Right? And now I'm getting a little bit more global, right? And we're just kind of creating a bigger stretch. Well, what happens if I tied in grabbing something heavy, okay? So do this for me. Okay. Bridge your butt up, okay? And we're going to go to the ground with this thing, okay? To the ground. Good. And then I want you to lower your butt as the tensioner, but pull your rib cage with you. Is that different?
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. And what's happening here now is that we first took his butt up to bias him into the position. Arms are straight. That unloads the shoulders, right? If he was higher up off the ground, this would be worse, right? He straightens the arms out into this idealized position, and then we use the dropping of the rib cage as the tensioner. So drop your rib cage, pull that down with you. And then we get the stretch. And that suddenly feels like it's not just ribs stretching and tearing, right? It's gristle, right? So now can we do some contract relax in these things? Can we start combining our techniques? Yeah. Take a big breath. Just tighten everything up. And again, we try to mobilize a movement, not a muscle. Because if I haven't mobilized go ahead and let's try to catch your serratus there, don't you think? That would be good. Let's see if you can contract your serratus. Yeah, what's that? Right. So that's the right answer. So what we're doing here is that if he just drags this down into this position, trying to get, and then just tightens up, release, tighten up, release. Good. Mobilize at the position of restriction. This is a position we value. And what are we catching here? Anything that's tight. I can get away from, hey, we're stretching the inferior medial lateral border of the attachment of the, you just glaze out, who cares? This is the position that's tight, we're going to catch whatever it is that's in. So this is one position though, right? What happens if we just roll him, I'm going to just wind him back a little bit, okay? Go ahead and wind back towards me, come back towards me. Okay, now we're just in a little bit different position. Grab that kettlebell, right? Lift your butt up high, straighten your arms. Really try to be straight, because what we want to do is bias that position first and then apply the tension, or otherwise it's the opposite where I'm stiff here and trying to stretch. So I get a chance to be in the perfect position and then I apply the tensioner through the body. So I'm stretching the body on the fixed arm. Good, now drop your butt and drag that rib cage with you. Oh, there you go, there it is, huh? Hold, hold, hold. Right now I'm like that dwarf in Braveheart, like pulling out his intestines, right? Burning them in front of his eyes. Freedom! Good.
That's a good stretch.
It's not bad, is it?
That's a good stretch.
And if we're buddies, hey, I'd be like, hey, put your hands on my rib cage.
Yeah.
Use spirit fingers, non-threatening touch. Do you see that? I'm going to put my hands on your rib cage now. Right? It's not creepy. Don't be creepy. Easy. But I don't have to touch him at all. He's getting plenty of benefit here, right? So let's say let's call that another 45 seconds, right? Now let's retest him. That was 2 spots, maybe 45 seconds. Oh, he had to come out of it slowly. Oh.
That was good. That was a good stretch.
Good stretch, good stretch, good stretch. Good talk, good talk. Come on back. All right, so rib cage down. Let's see if we made any change. Let's turn to the side so we can see, okay? And go and pull that up overhead. Does that feel any better?
That's great, yeah.
So one of the nice things about, remember, we're thinking in systems. Is this a bone problem, a joint restriction problem? Is this a muscular restriction problem? Hey, I can contract, relax, and see change if it's a muscle problem. Is this a tissue interface problem? Is it that he's not, everything is stuck down with nails and we don't have these sliding layers, right? That's a different thing. That's what I'm doing with the foam roller and the trigger point ball, trying to smash layers. break up the fuzz, right? But in this situation, you know, maybe it's a motor control problem. I'm like, dude, just pull your rib cage down. You're like, oh. So now it's just an issue of technique and motor control. But whenever we deal with these problems, we always want to make sure we're thinking in systems. And that's why there's no one approach that works. But because we're smart athletes, I snatch, I power clean, I run, I do gymnastics, I kettlebell, I do it all, because all of it kind of intermeshes to create the change. So this was more of a, did I feel like it was joint or muscle, or what was that?
I felt like it was muscle and joint. It was all. It was,
there you go.
Everything.
More importantly, instead of kind of biasing one system, because we're still getting muscle stuff when we do that, but instead of biasing one system, we're starting to kind of think, you know, maybe more globally, and maybe this is less joint, and now more muscular, more tissue and joint, but still a big global stretch. Does that make sense? Can you take one of those cameras outside real quick? Okay, let's say that I feel tight. Oh, hey, that's the hood of a car. Like, this is how low tech this has to be. Ready? Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm in the parking lot warming up. Oh, I'm at the CrossFit Games 2010 LA. This is someone's like Porsche or Beamer, right? Oh, they're not going to care if I mobilize my spine. But all I'm doing is creating that block and then trying to push up overhead. Hit those corners. Hit those corners. Does this make me look fat, this truck? You tell me, right? Good. Make sense? Savant told me I looked hairy and skinny on a video recently. I was like, hairy and skinny?